In the year 1981, at North Korea's political Camp 14, a pregnant woman was imprisoned. Camp 14 is one of the most feared labor camps in the country, where prisoners endure harsh conditions and are treated as enemies of the state. 6 months later, the woman gave birth to a boy whom she named Shin Dong-hyuk. He grew up in the same prison camp because in North Korea, the government believes in guilt by association policy. Under this system, if a person commits a political crime, his entire family can be sent to prison. This punishment can extend across 3 generations. So if a grandfather commits a crime, his son and grandson will also be imprisoned. That's why Shin grew up in the prison camp, because the North Korean government believed his blood was impure due to crimes he never committed. Life in Camp 14 was unimaginably harsh. Shin was given only a small portion of corn porridge, and out of sheer hunger, he resorted to eating grass and even mice. There were around 20,000 prisoners in the prison camp. The rules of the camp were very simple. If you were caught trying to escape the camp, you would be shot on the spot. If you overheard someone planning an escape and didn't report it, you would be hanged. One day, when Shin was just 13 years old, he overheard his mother and brother planning to escape. Because he was very young and hungry, too innocent to understand the consequences, he reported them to the guards, thinking he might get a little more food. A few days later, the guards gathered all the prisoners, and right in front of Shin's eyes, they hanged his mother and shot his brother. Shin himself was tortured for 6 months as a punishment. In 2005, when Shin was 23 years old, he attempted to escape. And fortunately, he succeeded. Though severely burned by the electrified fence, he pushed through the pain, fleeing to China and eventually making it to South Korea. His story gained international attention with the release of his memoir, Escape from Camp 14.
In the Bible, you read about heaven and hell. And where in hell, those have to live amongst the flames. That's what the prison camp was like. Hell.
Shin's story is just one example of the harsh realities of life under the North Korea's regime. In this video, let's understand what life really looks like in North Korea and how people survive under the world's most feared dictatorship.